Welcome to Rambam In-Depth. Today we'll be discussing the Rambam Hilchos Maachalos Assuros Perek Gimel halachic Gimel. The Rambam rules: Kol Chalav hanimtza b'yad goy asur. Any milk that's found in the hands of a Gentile is forbidden. And the reason he gives: Shema iru b'chalav behemoth meya, lest he had mixed into the milk of a non-kosher animal. So the question is, does this apply across the board, no matter what the circumstances are? So there's a famous a ruling of the Pri-Chadash, one of the major poskim, who says that in a place where there are no unkosher animals, the milk is permitted. And likewise, if non-kosher milk is more expensive than the kosher milk, he permits it, because there's no fear that the Gentile will mix into it non-kosher milk because he's going to lose. In other words, according to the Pri-Chadash, we take this reason as the only reason, the reason the Rambam gives, that maybe he mixed into it non-kosher milk. But if there's no non-kosher milk available in that area, or if it's more expensive, then the likelihood is that he's not going to mix into it. That's the sheet of the Pri-Chadash, but many of the poskim disagree with that, and they say that you cannot use that as a basis to permit what is called Chalav Akum, milk that was milked by a non-Jew. And in fact, the Aruch HaShulchan, one of the major authorities of the last century and a half, rules that and shows that, according to many authorities, Rishonim and Achreinim, that even in places where there is non-kosher milk available in the city, and there's no fear that there's going to be a mixture of non-kosher milk, nevertheless, if there wasn't a Jew who was watching the milking, was there during the milking, you cannot consume that milk. And the Aruch HaShulchan concludes, Kaf mekublani, I received this tradition, shekol gzeres chachamim levad taimim hanigla yesh eid harba taimim kamusim shaligilu eisam. But all the decrees by the sages, in addition to the revealed reasons that they gave, there are also other hidden reasons that they didn't reveal. But those who listen and follow the stringent view will be blessed from Hashem. It's also quoted in the name of Reb Chaim of Tzanz that he has a Kabbalah, he has a tradition from his father-in-law, the Baruch Tam, that he says this is Ishrik Pi Ish ad Moshe Rabbeinu Olav Shalom. Goes all the way back to Moshe Rabbeinu. Shechalom Shechal Akum ve'en Yisrael Ehu, that this non-Jew who milked the cow, and no Jew was present to watch the milking, the reason is not maybe they'll mix non-kosher milk into it. That's the revealed reason, but there's also a hidden reason. And also the Rebbe quotes his father-in-law, the previous Rebbe, that Chalav Akum is detrimental to one's Emunah, to one's faith in Hashem. However, there's another shita of a contemporary halachic authority, Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, famously permitted Chalav Akum, and people started to refer to it as Chalav Stam, just not non-Jewish milk, but just milk. You can't call it Chalav Yisrael, but you can call it Chalav Akum. But that's actually a misnomer. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein does not permit Chalav Akum and say that it's no longer forbidden, as the Pri-Chadash would say. Moshe Feinstein argues, and he brings several sources, that when you know something for certain based on logic, which we call in the moral language an Umdena, a presupposition, the likelihood of which is that the situation is one way or another, that is just like you were there watching it with your own eyes. And he brings several arguments to that effect. So according to Rav Moshe Feinstein, it's not that he permitted Chalav Akum. What his argument is that there is no such thing as Chalav Akum under the circumstances where you have government control over mixing in non-kosher milk. And so therefore, the owners of the farms would be very much deterred from mixing in non-kosher milk because they could suffer a major fine from the government. And therefore, we presume, this is the Umdena is a presumption, a very strong presumption that did not occur. So it's as if you were watching it with your own eyes. So according to Moshe Feinstein, there is no such thing under these circumstances as Chalav Akum, because in Yisrael, because the Yisrael does see it, we do see it. That's what Moshe Feinstein's argument. However, the Rabbi Yaakov Breisch, famous Pesach in Switzerland, authoring the Sefer Hilchos Yaakov, refutes Moshe's argument, and he refutes it on several grounds. First of all, he shows, actually it's later in the Chilva, he shows that all these arguments Moshe marshals to show that Yediyah, that knowledge, presumptive knowledge, is just like watching it, is not accurate, because it's not because it's like you saw it, it's because in those cases you don't need seeing it, you just need Yediyah, you have to have the knowledge. He also argues that, and he brings sources, that we do not make up our own umdenas, our own presumptions. If it's a presumption in the Gemara, or it's such a strong presumption, it's hard to poke any holes in it. But in this case, it's not 100% certain that a person wouldn't mix in non-kosher milk if that was available. So he argues strongly against Moshe's psak, or Moshe's heter. And he also brings a proof from the halacha that Rama says that non-Jew milk the cow for the making of cheese, it's still forbidden to drink if there's no Jew watching it over there. Even though if he's doing it for cheese, he wouldn't mix in non-kosher milk because it doesn't curdle with the non-kosher milk. And therefore he would just be wasting his money. Nevertheless, even such case, the halacha is that you're not allowed to drink that milk. So that shows that it's not just based on the prohibition, based on the fear of mixing in non-kosher milk, because if it was based simply on that fear, in this case, the fear would not appear to be relevant, because why would he want to mix in when he's using it for cheese? So according to this, and according to many other opinions that we just cited, that even though that may be the primary reason given, and as the Rambam writes, that maybe they mixed in non-kosher milk, that is not the only reason, and there are other reasons that we're not aware of. Therefore, if you follow the prechudosh, then Chalav Akum would not be forbidden, because the fear doesn't exist. But most poskim do not agree with the prechudosh, and Moshe's argument is an argument that could be refuted as well. And then Moshe himself actually does not totally permit it. His language is that Bali Nefesh min Haroi lahachmir, that a conscientious person it should be more stringent. If someone wants to be lenient and rely on this, he has a good reason, a major basis to rely on. That's Moshe's own statement. But Moshe himself agrees that it's better to be stringent in this matter, especially considering the fact that it can affect a person's Emunah. That is certainly a reason why one should be more conscientious about this.